Hi, and welcome to my conversion optimization presentation for our MBA 592 course at Benedictine University. My name is Rochelle Maddox. This course exposed the basics of search engine optimization using AdWords, providing us with tools to create brand awareness to our business in order to gain a sufficient ROI. Let's get started. Learning about Rochelle Maddox and forward thinking. I am a student at Benedictine University completing my master's degree in business management. To enhance my skills of being a business owner, as well as the CEO of Forward Thinking Mentoring Program, non for profit, which has been in operation for about 2 years, moving into our third year. Our mission is to create a safe and positive environment for underserved communities to be transformed and inspired by effectively involving and empowering the inner city youth to assume leadership roles, all while overcoming negativities. So, one thing that I wanted to do with this course was to incorporate it with forward thinking to build awareness of um, the organization. Still fairly new, and having the skills behind me to reach different targets and being able to market the organization very well. This course actually came at the right time as I just changed over my website to be able to manage it on my own. That way I have a little bit more control. So still fairly new, with learning how to navigate my own website. As we was um, doing this course, I had to really sit down and figure out um, what was my goals, what I needed to get from this course. How would it help my website? How would it help me to market a little bit more? Some of the things that we are lacking in as an organization is bringing in mentors and volunteers. So that kind of was my goal, is to generate um, leads to my website to provide them with the information to be able to generate some leads so I can get those things that we were lacking in. Um, and what better way to partner with a search engine class and an organization who need that marketing to behind them. So some of my goals was to understand uh, SEM to build awareness of forward-thinking brand, services, and website, targeting different markets by location and demographics to gain clicks and impressions that generate leads, evaluate campaign strategies, create new keywords, and maintain a sufficient budget all at the same time, because the ultimate goal is just to create leads to bring in more mentors and volunteers, but also keep a sufficient budget so that you are getting the ROI that you plan for. So return on investments, and that's the whole gist of it. So setting up accounts and creating a landing page. From the beginning, I had a little difficulties um, setting up Google Ads, AdWords. I started in a per se training mode where I wasn't accumulating the information I need to really get into Google AdWords, to see some data, to do campaigns, to create AdWords. And then I learned a little bit more about Google AdWords, and I had to switch that mode over to Google AdWords, where I did have the opportunity to um, create AdWords, create campaigns, see the path or the patterns of my campaign, and then partner up with Google Analytics and things like that. So it was a little bit of hump in the beginning, but I got past that part of um, the course. So the landing page, I got to understand and did some research on a landing page and how critical it is to um, marketing and to a business website, far as collecting the data from your audience to be able to have a sufficient lead or sale to be able to gain that ROI that you are looking for. The landing page, it definitely tailors to different offers and provide a good experience for the audience to drive a quality conversation. And here on my landing page, that's what I'm trying to do because I'm a non-for-profit and I'm not selling a product. I am a service-based organization, so I provide a service. So I want to give my audience attention where they are providing me with the sufficient information I need to form a great lead to either build mentors, mentees, and volunteers. Keywords research. I learned that it was not easy creating the keywords, which in the beginning I thought that it would be. Again, I use simple words like mentors, mentees, due to my organization. I had to really play around with the keywords due to the limited characters. I think playing around with the different wording to make sure that my ads stand out and to make sure that I pull the right audience was a need. I wanted to get more creative with my keyword search. So I researched different youth mentoring organization to make sure that I was capturing the different keywords to gain the right audience. Um, Again, I continue to ask who's my target market so that I was creating the right keywords to my ads to get the right people to my website. Again, as a non-for-profit, I do target a few different markets, so which are parents and youth, adults, mentors, tutors, and donors from different sources. So I had to be very clear with my ads and find words that would stand out, but most importantly, making sure that I was solving their problem. So some things that I needed to make sure that I kept in mind was including emotional triggers, making sure that I build that emotional connection and focusing on the benefit and not the feature. So some keywords that really got me some high impressions and some clicks was mentor organization, and I just couldn't use mentors. Community and mentoring. Mentoring alone brought in a lot, but I was at a standstill with that. And volunteers, mentors, those words helped me to get the impressions and some of the clicks that I needed to, opposed to me just having need help with mentors or having mentors and just not having that one particular word. So another thing that was really interesting was the sources and the device. So where some of the things that people was searching off of. So smartphones, that was about 60%. Tablets were like 30%. The least was computers. So I guess everybody is kind of working off their phones and stuff like that. So, and then Google search was like 4%, and then Google partner sites was like 90%, which was the highest. So, that was pretty good. Campaign budget. Got some mixed feelings about how I end up managing my campaign budget. I think some results was really well and some was not good. So I started my campaign with 3 different ads using similar keywords in each. I started my budget at about $50, running for about 15 days, with a daily budget of $1.68, which I thought that was pretty low. I found out that I didn't monitor my budget as well as I needed to. Just by looking at some of my campaign on different days, my campaign activities. So, for instance, September 30th, campaign activities were 15 clicks at about a dollar and about $7.68. So I found out that I wasn't doing a great job with monitoring my campaign budget. Um, it went from no activities to skyrocket activity to a standstill, meaning I started my budget, I believe, before everyone, not intentionally. Um, I think I was eager to move a little bit faster, clicked on something, and my budget, I was running a budget. So I was running my campaign. Um, but at the end results, I did get a significant amount of clicks with impressions and things like that. So for my mentor campaign, I got about 41 about 46 clicks with 3,406 impressions, running at the CTR at like 1.38. Um, it was quite a bit of things that I learned from running a campaign budget. Um, just kind of sticking with monitoring the budget daily, because it can go off track. I found out that I went over my budget. I was displeased with that, because I was really trying to stick with the $50 budget or less. I actually went over my budget with about $1.68. I'm sorry, with $1.08. And at that point, I was kind of trying to figure out where I went wrong in my budget, and trying to figure out where I went wrong with my keywords and just monitoring the campaign budget in general. Overall, I did get some leads that I was looking for. I did get some clicks that I kind of wanted to get, and did some impression, meaning I got my website out. I marketed in a way where people was kind of noticing my website and able to go to my website and kind of learn about what I was doing. But far as a budgeted standpoint, um, I feel like I could have done a little bit more monitoring the budget. So just for instance, on September 22nd, I had 16 clicks at about $5.78. Um, I I felt like the $1.68 daily budget was low in the beginning, but I found out that probably was sufficient due to me going over my budget. And each day it ranged from maybe $1.96 to maybe $7.68 at the most high. Um, I needed to really to really strategize my budgeting goals to make sure that I didn't go over, to get the clicks and the impressions that I target for. So in the near future, when I am running a campaign, my number one focus will be the budget and making sure that everything is adding up where I am really getting a solid return on investment. Ad campaign. I feel like this is kind of where everything kind of all tie in, meaning your keywords, your budgeting, your goals for your clicks and your impression. It all tie in once you start creating your campaign. So if we look at the ad that I create for mentors, and I actually think these three are the first one. I had to go back and forth and change the wording or use different words, use a different approach. So the mentor ad actually did about 46 clicks, 3,406 impression with a CTR rate of 1.35. And that particular cost, that particular day was like $13.75. Um, Overall, for that campaign, I felt like that we did meet kind of the goals that we was trying to do was basically get the awareness out there that we are looking for a change in our community. We're looking for mentors slash volunteers. So that kind of met my standards as far as getting the ad more, getting it noticeable to reach the website. And then if we look at our fundraising ad, we did about 5 clicks with that ad, but about 2,217 impression. CTR with about 23%. Average cost per click was about 85%. Um, so I could have did a little bit better with the ads if I feel like if I would have had enough a little bit more time with the course just to kind of get really familiar with Google Ads. I kind of was bouncing back and forth, trying to really learn it so I can have a sufficient campaign. Great opportunity was to really get people involved to be a part of the organization in any formal way of fashion to get them involved. That one received about 19 clicks with about 1,436 impression at CTR rate of 1.33 and cost per click was about 61 cents. So overall, I am happy with my ad campaign. I feel like I I would like to have another course a little bit longer to really drill down to be sufficient in creating more campaigns and monitoring the budgets, the impression a little bit more to streamline it. So I will be looking for ways or more opportunity to build on campaigns and creating ads so I can really be well rounded in it because I am running an organization where mentors, fundraising, and getting volunteers and getting people involved is critical to my organization growing. And this piece is crucial to my organization to be able to succeed. And this will allow me to monitor what's not needed, what's needed. And to see how to be creative, to be more creative with my keywords and things like that. So I am very pleased with my ad campaign um, overall. You know, some of the things I wasn't happy with, some of the things I needed to change, but overall with the ad campaign, I am very happy with that. So moving differently, some of my goals going forward, I will continue to use Google AdWords. Um, Actually, I'm going to start another campaign at a lower budget and trying to see how I can kind of navigate and strengthen my skill. So using a different strategy approach. So going in and not so much of looking to maybe focusing on just getting volunteers, but just focus on the content that I put out to bring awareness to the website. Another thing is managing my budget better. being very firm and strict on getting in there daily, adjusting and setting some goals and some limits on my budget. So, of course, for one thing, I will not go over. Um, Making sure that I'm reaching the goal that I set for. I'm not going over. Again, using different keywords for my campaign. Um, so if I put 3 ads out there, have them to look totally different. I kind of stuck with each one of my ads looking the same, but trying to target different audience. Uh, One thing I noticed, if searching and doing my research, um, to have it look a little bit different so I can get more audience and more clicks and more leads to my website. And another thing is utilizing Google Help a little bit more. I felt like it was times where I just went and did it on my own, and then after it was done, I'm like, oh man, I should have uh, did the help button for that. So some of the things I'm doing differently, I absolutely learned a lot how to be creative with my keywords. Um, how to plan a budget, even though it wasn't up to my standards, but how to plan it out and execute it. So overall, I enjoyed this class, and I know for a fact going forward it will help my organization. Thank you.